artist and make monsters, and it all kind of really came about from seeing monster movies on TV, especially the Universal horror films, and I just was fascinated by those monsters, you know, whether it's Frankenstein or the Wolfman or Mr. Hyde or whatever. People of my generation who grew up watching the shock theater package on TV and all the classic Universal horror movies and read famous monsters, idolized these guys, Chaney and Karloff and Lugosi. I don't know exactly what it is about it, but I just knew that I thought they were really cool. One day when I realized that somebody actually did that and made a living at it, you know, I had decided that's what I was going to try to do with my life. And fortunately for me, it worked out. I didn't really have a plan B. This is how I entertain myself, how I enjoy myself, is making things, you know, especially monster stuff. And I think because I had that passion, that's one of the reasons I was successful. I mean, in so many films, even to this day, still I do above and beyond what I get paid for because I can't even believe they're paying me to do this. I mean, I used to have to mow lawns and save my 25 cents a week allowance forever to be able to buy a quart of rubber to make a mask. And now people pay me to do this. I mean, I just had hoped that sometime I would be able to do some kind of werewolf movie and do some kind of transformation. And when I was doing Schlock, which was my second film, which was this 3-week shoot, you know, a $30,000 film that John Landis shot and wrote and directed and starred in, John had already written American Werewolf, and he told me the whole story in great detail, basically exactly the way the movie was made. He also has a love of those films, the Universal films and transformations in general. But he said, you know, it made no sense to him that if you were going to change into a wolf that you would sit in a chair and be really still until you finished changing. And he said, you know, it would be a painful experience for your body to be transforming and changing, and the bones changing and muscles and everything.
Please help me!
So he said, you know, I want the transformation to be done in a way that it's not lap dissolves and Lon Chaney Jr. sitting in the corner of a chair. John's point was, you wouldn't lie still when that happens to you. I was always trying to do something in one shot, and John said, I would never use it that way. I mean, the way I want to do the transformations, I want to focus on certain parts and show these parts changing, and I think dramatically it'll work better and have much more impact, you know? And I think he was right. I mean, that's part of what I love about my job is that, you know, no two jobs are alike, and again, that whole collaborative thing makes a big difference in what you end up doing. And John Landis wants this, you know, 4-legged hound from hell werewolf. That's not what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be a 2-legged werewolf, you know, but that's what he wanted, so I designed something to do that. And I mean, it's all those things in the mix that kind of make you think of, you know, how you're going to approach it, and it also makes it what it ultimately becomes. John said to me, when I was doing Schlock, he goes, what is it that I can do to help you and make this stuff be, you know, better than anybody's ever done before? I said, you know, I'm not even sure how I would do this transformation, but if you gave me some time and some money, I could do it better, you know, and he did. After that film came out, people said, you know, why is this so much better than what people have done before? Is there like a new material that came out that allowed you to do this and make it better? And I go, the reason it is because I had some time and some money. So it comes down to I was able to experiment and play and you know, develop. After that film, people started to think we could do anything. I started getting scripts, and it's like, how the hell am I going to do this, you know? But you figured out a way. American Werewolf definitely has its place in werewolf film history, and I'm really glad that I was able to work on that movie and do that. I wish I had more opportunities to do monster movies, and it kind of re-energized the whole werewolf you know, movie situation, and kind of like, you know, set new rules of what a transformation is and what a werewolf movie is, for that matter. When I heard that Universal was going to make a new Wolfman movie, I just felt that I had to do it. And I was so afraid that it was going to become, you know, a CGI werewolf thing and not be the Wolfman. And I actually had heard that they were talking about it being a makeup I don't have an agent and I don't really pursue jobs, but this one I was at Universal working actually, I think on Norbit, and walked into an office, somebody I knew there, and I said, you know anything about the Wolfman? Is it really going to happen? And he go, yeah, a little bit. And it was like, you know, I want to do this. You know, tell the powers that be or whatever that Rick Baker wants to do the Wolfman, and he'll work really hard and give you a good deal, you know. So that message got through to somebody. To me, it was really important to try to be true to the classic Universal horror films. And what I loved about working on it was you'd go to work and like we're in the woods somewhere and there's like this gypsy camp and there's like, instead of like a wagon or two, you know, there's 25 of them, really cool wagons. These real Romanian guys playing gypsies in great costumes. Real force with fog all over the place and people on horseback and torches and you know, these crazy villagers and stuff. And it's like, I'm making a Wolfman movie. This is the Wolfman, you know, there's no doubt about it, you know, and this is like classic Gothic horror movies. Basically, every day I'm just glad that I was able to do what I do and make a living at it. I mean, at the time when I was 10 years old and decided this is what I wanted to do, I mean, it was a pretty outrageous decision for a kid. I mean, it was a job that not that many people had, and, you know, makeup effects really didn't exist the way they do now. I don't know how it was that I was really successful. I mean, other than the fact that I really had a love for what I was doing, and I would be doing this even if I didn't do it as a job. I mean, that's kind of what it was my hobby, and it's how I had fun, and I'm hoping that a well-made Gothic horror movie can kind of bring that back, and that a new generation of kids can be fascinated by that type of horror movie and appreciate it and end up loving that kind of genre like I have and so many people of my generation.